Star 102.5 with Moore County and the Sandhills, best of music. Rich and Jenny in the studio. We've got, again, more fantastic entertainment coming our way. We are so blessed to have big city entertainment in our quaint little town. And Jen, Driving Miss Daisy, you may have seen the movie.
Yes, and it's this weekend. It actually starts tonight, and we're very excited about it. And we've got Morgan in the studio with us this morning to tell us a little bit about it. Hi, Morgan. How are you?
I'm great. I'm especially happy to have these folks here with us. We've been watching them on TV and seeing them, you know, on stage for years and years, and now they've come to see us here in Pinehurst.
This must be really fun for you because you really get to hang out with these folks and learn a little bit about them and the experiences they've had.
It is. It also completes the circle of when I was growing up and doing theater here, to be able to bring this kind of star-driven theater to the Sandhills so that people can experience their talent live and in person there at Owens Auditorium.
Who did you bring today?
Well, we have four-time Emmy winner Michael Learned, who is beloved to practically the entire universe from the Waltons.
Right.
And also her own series nurse. Opposite her as Hope, we have Lance Nichols, who some of you may know from HBO's Treme and also from House of Cards and the recent movie Beautiful Creatures.
Right.
And we have a dear friend of mine, an acclaimed New York actor, Michael Hodge, that we sort of came up in the trenches together and have lived to tell.
Nice.
And so he's playing Booley. And there, I couldn't be more blessed than to have these three.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Okay.
All right, so
Say hello.
yeah, who's ready to go first? They're all pointing to each other.
We're like the Three Stooges. We all point to each other.
Michael, thank you so much for coming in. We really appreciate it. Have you been able to, when did you guys come in?
I'm in such a blur. We just came from Jacksonville, Florida, and came in on Monday, so we're all kind of tired, a little kind of bleary, but I'm happy to be here. It's really beautiful here.
And Driving Miss Daisy, you've played this. Is this the third time you've gone out and done this?
I think it's the fourth time with Lance.
Wow, fifth time.
Oh, this will be the fifth, you're right. And I just feel very fortunate to have Lance and Michael in this production. We really are.
So how many years are we going on with this?
Well, when I started it, I was too young, and now I'm the right age. So I'd say about 10 years with you. Yeah.
Looking at your career specifically, what is it like to walk up on Emmy nights? And let's look at the very first time, and you're surrounded by the people that work in your industry, and they say, you were the best this year. What is that like?
It's thrilling. The first time I went with my son.
Oh, that's great.
I was very relaxed because I didn't think I wasn't even in the running as far as I was concerned. So when they announced my name, they announced it incorrectly. So I was just sitting there clapping for the person who had come before, happy as a clam, and suddenly I still can see my son's face and the shock and his mouth wide open, and I know he was mirroring me, my reaction, when I suddenly realized, they're talking about me. And then you have to get up in front of all those people and you have to remember people's names, and the rest is a total blur. The only thing I remember that was so thrilling was I knew my kids at home were going nuts.
Oh,
I knew they were going crazy. So the first thing I did was call home, and it was really a thrill.
That's terrific. Yeah. And when you started on the Waltons, Michael, your life wasn't a picture-perfect scenario at the time, and to go into, from what I've read anyway, and when you went into that, and then now you're in a top-rated big show, superstar, that must have been a life changer.
It was a big adjustment. It really was, and you know, I'm very grateful in retrospect. But at the time, you're right. I was sort of lost. I'd been married to the father of my kids for half my lifespan, so suddenly all this was happening all at once, and it was like an abundance of riches and not the wherewithal to handle it all that gracefully. But in retrospect, it was a very happy time, and I'm eternally grateful that show was ended.
Do you still keep in touch with other cast members?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Absolutely, we're very close, and I think that came across.
You know, I saw, Michael, I saw you in an episode of Law and Order not too long ago.
Yes, I
saw
played a rotten, nasty grandma.
You were the wealthy Manhattanite lady, and the grandmother of a boy who was getting into trouble.
Leading him astray.
Yeah, it was. And I also
She
saw...
sounds like she enjoyed that role.
When you can play...
You get to plumb all the really evil part of your own.
That's awesome.
And get away with it.
And I also saw Richard Thomas on an episode of Law and Order as well. So I see these people around and they say, boy, they don't look much different. I don't know how they do it.
The two of us do evil very well,
Yeah.
Richard and I. We get all these evil parts and we do them very well. But yeah, I just saw Richard a little. I did a show with him in Tucson, Arizona, and with Ralph last summer.
No
in
kidding.
Canada. So yeah, it's
What was the
wonderful.
show with Ralph?
Love letters. We did love
You
letters.
did?
Yeah.
Wow, I bet that was a huge success.
It was, and it's so touching because people come up to us after the show with tears in their eyes,
Oh,
thanking
yeah.
us for different reasons. Some because they didn't have happy childhoods, and some because we created a happy childhood for them, and it's very humbling and very humbling.
And because you play Ralph's wife on the Waltons, your husband and wife in character, would you say you're closer to him among the cast?
We have the perfect marriage right now because we don't sleep together. And we have no expectations, so we just love each other, period.
Oh, that's great.
But I want to talk to you about driving Miss Daisy.
Yes,
Sure,
let's
absolutely.
talk about driving Miss Daisy.
It's such a thrill to be here at the Judson Theater, and this show is so dear to my heart, which is why I've been doing it for 10 years. It's just so funny and poignant, and really it's history. It takes you from 1949 through the Civil Rights Movement,
Right.
and it's a love story, wouldn't you say, Lance?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, and we did want to talk with Lance. Lance, you're a distinguished actor yourself, Emmy nominated for Treme. Tell us a little bit about your career and the experiences you've had.
Oh, well, I started off as a song and dance man when I was 16 years old.
Really?
Yes.
So you could cut a rug.
Well, I could. Up to word being I could cut a rug. And then I went for musical theater, majored in, got my degree in drama communication, and then moved out to LA in '78 where I started working in television, primarily in half-hour sitcom, and then eventually into one-hour drama and then features. And then I moved back home. I'm from New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Moved back home in '02 and got my first series, HBO series called Treme,
Yeah.
which takes place in post-Katrina New Orleans. Starts three months after Katrina, and it follows the lives of several people trying to rebuild.
Would you say that show is pretty accurate as
It's
far as...
extremely
is it?
accurate.
Yeah.
And there have been many things that have been shot in New Orleans that have been so inaccurate, including the way we talk. We got everybody talking like they're from the bayou.
Right.
We don't talk like that down there, But the producers of this show, particularly the creator, David Simon, who created The Wire, which was also one of my favorite
Yes.
television shows ever. They came into the city and they talked to people, and they got it exactly right, from the language to the culture to the music to our stories and everything. It's been a great experience.
Well, tell us about your role in driving Miss Daisy.
I play Hope,
Yeah.
the very patient chauffeur to Mrs. Daisy.
Yes.
And I have to say, from the first time Michael and I met, which was about 9 years ago, the first time we did the show, and we had a table read with the other cast member and producers. And when we finished that table read, we turned and looked at each other like, there's something magic going on.
That's
We
incredible.
knew it from the beginning, and it's just been a great experience. And to have a wonderful actor like Michael Hodge come on board, we're a team. It's truly an ensemble piece. It really is.
How do you like produced TV versus live?
I like the money in television a lot better.
That's my
Yes.
line.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. I didn't mean to steal that. But in terms of the artistic satisfaction, and I honestly mean this, if I could make the same kind of money doing theater that I make doing TV and film, I'd have no desire to do TV and film.
Really?
Television and film work is very tedious, and I'm sure Michael can appreciate what I'm saying with that. So it's long hours, a lot of stopping and starting and sitting around and waiting, and
I've
you
heard that.
think you're ready, and then, oh no, we're not ready for you yet. And it just doesn't have the, to be on stage with these two guys here,
Right.
and to walk out there and then feel that energy from the audience, there's nothing like it.
And just to go back real quick to where you said you felt the magic, I'm sure you both worked with actors and actresses opposite you where there just wasn't chemistry, and that's got to be difficult to overcome as well.
It's hideous.
I bet.
And usually it's not even chemistry. Sometimes it's downright evil. stuff, and you have to find a way to adjust and make it work for you. So in this case, this is bliss
Right.
with these two guys.
Now, Michael, tell us about your role in this performance as well.
Boy, my character is Booley Worthen. I am the only son of Daisy Worthen, and Daddy passed on, and I'm up and coming in the printing business world, and I care deeply for Mama and want her to have the best and typical mother and son relationship. We go at each other and razz each other and love
Right.
each other. It's a great role.
And what's some of your background? Some of your
Wow, I am truly, I think that I truly embody the gypsy actor. I go where the work is. I've been doing this for 30 years.
Wow.
But when I first started, I did not go to school to be an actor. I excelled in the arts in school, and I also excelled in the sciences. And my hometown is like Friday Night Lights. It's steel mills and oil refineries. And my dad just wanted me to have a career where I would make money. So I originally went to school and graduated with a degree in chemistry, with a minor in theater. And I really tried to give chemistry the whole go for 6 months and hated it, right?
Yeah.
So I went back to school, converted my minor to a major, and then eventually got my master's of fine arts in acting, and here I am.
Do you mostly do plays? And
Yes, my career has mostly been stage. I've done few commercials and films. I did a voice. My notable film is I played Scooter. I think that's the dog's name, and Shaggy Dog.
Yes,
Two sides of him. Yeah, the voiceover for
I
that.
gotta tell my kids; they'll be thrilled.
Yeah, I work across the country, and I've worked in Europe on stage. That's where my career has been.
Okay. It's Driving Miss Daisy, and if we can get showtimes and ticket info.
Oh yes, absolutely. From the producer. Driving Miss Daisy.
That would help.
Thursday through Sunday, March 21st through the 24th only. We have evening shows and matinees. Tickets are available at judsontheater.com or by calling 800-514-ETICS.
Now, will there be some at the box office? I mean, at the actual door?
At the door,
Okay.
there will be. And we are part of the Palestres Festival this
Yes,
year.
sir.
And we also have received a designation from the college that we're the professional theater company in residence at Sand Hills Community College now. So the community has embraced us, and we hope to see everybody at Driving Miss Daisy.
Michael, Lance, Michael, thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you.
This is fun.